Hello, friends. Welcome back to Feni for the Soul. So today is a very interesting story. I've enjoyed doing it quite a bit. It's Goa's Feni story, and it's in three parts. So in the first part, I am going to bring you face to face with my cashew farmer friend Bebe Barreto. So Bebe or Angelo Barreto, has a lovely, very large cashew plantation in the Kepe Taluka of southeast Goa. And I had the privilege of traveling in his farm, seeing all the cashew plantation and the distillation process. Very exciting because I drink his farm fresh Urraca and cashew Feni. So all the more reason that he's the opening batter, so to say, in cricket terms. The second part of this, the second episode, is going to be on Clement DeSlyva, who happens to be coincidentally a school buddy of mine from the St. Vincent's High School, Pune. Clement is an architect turned master distiller. He's a Feni distiller now, and he's brought out a brand in the market called Ani Ek, which is infused Feni. There are many varieties there's honey cinnamon, there's chili, there's lemon, and now I think kokum is coming. It's fascinating. So that's a lovely thing. So Clement speaks about what Feni means to him, and in the final, last but not the least, the final episode, you come to face with Hansel Vaz, another very good friend. Hansel is runs the popular Vaz Enterprises in Kolwa, and he is the founder of the cashew Feni brand, and he's a very big cashew Feni and even coconut Feni evangelist. So you will see his passion when he speaks about cashew Feni. So I have with me a wonderful Urraca drink to say cheers to this episode. You see the color. This is a conventional recipe. It's got salt. It's got a dash of lime and a little jaggery and Urraca and water. That's it. Nothing else. No limca, no chili, none of the Instagram stuff. Cheers.
halfway to 3
So we are here at Bebe's farm. Yeah, Bebe's farm. We just brought all this cashew. If you saw the last frame, we got it from the farm and we brought it here to the distillation center. Now I'm going to ask Bebe to explain the whole process how Urraca and cashew Feni is made.
To you here, Rahul. I'm honored to have you here. So you saw the process of collection.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, we collect only the fallen fruits, the fallen apples, because that produces the best Urraca. Yeah. The moment you mix it with plucked apples, then you get a sappy taste, and we wouldn't want that. And anyway, our plantation is too huge to go plucking cashews. So when we when we collect fallen apples and bring them transport them by trains here, as you can see, then they're emptied here.
Yeah.
Then after a while, you will be able to film that. Everyone sits around
Yeah.
and they are de-seeded. They are de-seeded.
Yeah.
So that process takes a long time. Apparently, there are machines that have come now to do that, but we haven't invested in one, so I don't know whether that's actually good. I just want a few farmers to buy it, give me a feedback, and then I would perhaps go for a machine.
Where the de-seeding will happen
De-seeding
automatically.
happens on its, yes,
Yeah.
you put this, and you get the seed one side, and you get the pulp and the juice the other side.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, we still don't follow the traditional method. It's the older method because traditionally, all these cashews used to be stomped with their feet. That process is no longer done, and such a huge quantity you cannot possibly stomp. So we have a machine there which crushes it. Fed in this hopper,
Yeah.
and then it's started,
Yeah.
and you get crushed. I will show you afterwards.
Yeah.
It's crushed,
Yeah.
and you get juice which comes out there,
Yeah.
and you get the pulp,
Yeah.
which is afterwards tied.
Yeah.
It's tied very tight with those ropes,
Yeah.
and then they put slabs on that for weight,
Okay.
for the juice to come out.
Oh.
The last juice
Yeah.
that comes out is the Nero.
Okay.
So a lot of people say, what do you do of Nero? Nero is nothing but the juice. It's just the last clear juice, which is very sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like nectar basically.
Yeah.
It's a very good laxative. Plus, it's very pleasant to have when chilled.
Yeah.
So before the market was only Urraca and Feni.
Yeah.
Now I've seen there's a parallel market for Nero also. But unfortunately, Nero comes only in limited quantities.
Yeah.
Because we don't sell it as cashew juice. It's the very last juice, which is a limited amount.
Yeah.
We get around 40, 50 liters of Nero on a good day. Nothing more.
Yeah. So you said the juice is taken.
The juice is taken
Yeah.
and put in barrels here.
Yeah.
Now, if you put your ear here, come here. If you just put your ear here,
Yeah.
or if you even see, it's fermenting on its own.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we can catch it here. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's fermenting on its own.
Yeah.
No artificial fermenting agents are added. On warm, sultry, humid days like this, this whole process takes around 2 days.
So
2 to 3
yeah.
days.
Yeah. So the cashew juice is getting fermented
Fermented, yes.
because of the humidity and the heat.
And the heat. Colder nights make it longer to. Here.
So Bebe, this is they're de-seeding, no?
They are de-seeding, yes. So you can see the de-seed apples they throw that side,
Yeah.
okay, and the seed they separate from the fruit.
Yeah. Correct.
And allowed to stand. In hot and humid days like this, it takes around 2.5 to 3 nights for the fermentation process to be finished.
Okay.
No artificial fermenting agents are added by anybody.
Okay.
Cashew juice ferments on its own.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this barrel is around 200 liters of juice.
Yeah. That's 200 liters.
This
Okay.
200 liters of juice.
Yeah.
This once it's ready, it is fermentation process is over.
Yeah.
The juice, because I will show you, the juice becomes like turbid water
Okay.
and very still. It doesn't ferment, doesn't bubble anymore.
Yeah.
So that's the time we put in this, and then it's sealed with a mud pot.
Okay.
So capacity of each, you put around 100 liters.
Yeah.
So one barrel of that would be enough for two copper vessels.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have a pipe there.
Yeah.
That's a cooling tank.
So this is this is fired.
This is fired.
Yeah.
First, initially with a see, this is now new.
Yeah.
New juice is put.
Yeah.
So first, it requires a very strong fire,
Yeah.
and then gradually
Yeah.
you reduce the fire,
Okay.
just to embers, and then this is a simple distillation process.
Yeah.
There's a cooling coil in the tank.
Yeah.
You fire it, okay, and then once the vaporization starts taking place,
Yeah.
you get Urraca, which
So, Bebe, once you put the juice in these two copper,
Yeah.
vessels,
Yeah.
and you fire it,
Yeah.
then it moves into the tank.
it moves through the tank,
Yeah.
condensation,
Yeah.
okay, because there's a water there,
Yeah.
cool water,
Okay.
and then it starts trickling out.
Yeah.
So when the can is full, the first distillate that comes out is Urraca.
The first distillation is Urraca.
Is Urraca.
Yeah.
Now, if you see if you put an alcometer, Urraca is always between 15 and 16 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you will ask me what is the recovery.
Yeah.
Now, 100 liters of juice
Yeah.
will give you a recovery of 20 liters of Urraca.
Okay.
Okay, so around 20%.
1/5. Yeah.
20%, yes. Now, double distillation of Urraca gives you Feni.
Yeah.
Double distillation is like 35 liter, 2 cans you put, and then we put a small bucket of water. Now, some people prefer putting juice, but our guys here say when you put juice, the aroma comes very strong, it's nice, but that doesn't last, the Feni doesn't last. So they prefer putting water instead of juice. That lasts, they say. And I've had no problem with Feni at all with the way they do. In fact, my Feni is very much sought after everywhere. You are one consumer also, a loyal consumer.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. For
So-
both, I am a loyal consumer of both the
Of
Urraca and the
Urraca
cashew
and
Feni.
Feni.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's about this process we do for distilling Urraca. See, all these are dead trees. Nothing goes waste here. The dead trees we cut when they are free,
Yeah.
chop it, make firewood. So that is used to fire the barn. This is
Yeah.
called a barn, the copper barn.
Yeah, copper
That
barns.
is used to fire the barn.
Yeah.
Now for Feni, you require only strong wood. This will not do.
Okay.
You require strong wood because Feni comes out with with a hot flame and then a very slow fire, but very strong fire. It has to be a very strong fire. So the one Feni takes around almost 10 to 12 hours for distillation, and one Urraca takes around 3 hours. So for us, always the Urraca that sells is more viable and more profitable than Feni, because Feni is that much more firewood, that much more labor, and that much more time.
Yeah.
So that is the thing.
Correct. Thank you. Seeds are sun dried like this, is it?
Yes, so half a day.
Half a day.
Yeah. Like tonight we collect, put here. Tomorrow evening they will collect. After lunch when they come, they first collect the seed. Because if you dry it too much, we will stand to lose
Yeah.
by way of moisture.
Yeah.
There's weight, loss of weight.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the moment we get adequate quantity, it is sold, put in bags and sold.
So you're saying, the seed, the dried seeds are then stored in this room like
Yes,
this. Wow.
yes.
Okay. So these are all cashew seeds.
Yes. This
And-
will be next week when we get a load,
Yeah.
pick up load or whatever,
Yeah.
and we sell it.
So Bebe, you have to tell me what made you become a cashew, a farmer.
See, Rahul, we were always traditionally coconut growers.
Huh.
Somehow I was always interested in cashew.
Yeah.
And when I was small, there were a lot of companies that were mushrooming, and they used to refer to cashew as grey gold because they had seen tremendous export potential in cashew.
Okay.
And we had a lot of land, but no cashew plantation. And this land was very rocky, hilly area, which wouldn't do for any other crops.
Okay.
Cashew does very well here.
Yeah.
So cashew basically requires well-drained, slopy land. If you have land that's sort of low-lying and all, waterlogged, your cashew will not do well there.
Yeah.
So this is well-drained. You can see it's a hilltop.
Yeah.
So as you can see, all that is a plantation,
Yeah. Right to the top. Yeah.
right to the top.
Yeah.
So that sort of...
And you began in
it was like
1992.
yeah. It was like a challenge. I said, let me start something new. Then in 2000, we had a major fire.
Yeah.
That was the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
I sat down, I sobbed because I had lost around 1,500, which that time was we had only this plantation. Now we have 2 plantations. So that was a huge loss. And I was very crestfallen at that point of time. I almost wanted to sell the land. I was going to tell Dad, fine, we'll sell it. But then somehow this runs in our DNA. Time is the best healer. We got back, planted more trees. In a way, that was a blessing in disguise because now we have got all sorts of varieties of trees.
Wow.
I can say my guru is Dr. Desai. Please, I would like to mention him.
Yeah.
Dr. Desai from ICR. He is retired.
Yeah.
He is literally my guru because he's such a storehouse of knowledge on cashew. He's done his PhD on cashew.
Wow.
He's retired now. He's gone to his native place.
Yeah.
So he was also instrumental in me getting this award.
Yeah. So, tell us a little about, I wanted to tell our audience also that Bebe has got the Indian Council of Agricultural Research Award for Best Cashew Farmer last year.
So last year.
Yeah. So how did this award come about, and, how excited were you?
So the ICR scientists, a couple of them from various stations, visited my plantation. And they found out that this was a sort of a model. See, there are much bigger plantations, but this for them was a model plantation because I have a lot of varieties under a lot of conditions. We have got rain-fed trees, we have got irrigated trees, we have got trees on hill, we've got a little low-lying trees, everywhere, and different varieties. Like I used to tell Dr. Desai, you want to experiment with any variety, give it to me.
Yeah.
I will plant. I can't identify them. You come and identify, that's your job. But you give me, I will plant. So that was a wrong thing I did actually, because we had a lot of trees which are not yielding also. So there was no mercy. We just cut them and we kept planting. Until today, we're keeping on planting because every year mortality with stem borer and all, in a plantation of this size with around 7,000 trees, we have a mortality of around 250-300 trees every year. So every year we keep planting. So this work never ends. It's a perpetual process.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What is the greatest joy you get as a cashew farmer,
I think that joy is not only of a cashew farmer, it is of a basically a grower of trees. You nurture life basically. Trees are life, and trees sustain life also. We all know that.
Yeah.
So all I can say is I'm proud and happy that I've kept my ancestral land from being sold, and there's a lot of value addition I've given it. There's a lot of labor that we have who are depending on us for their livelihood.
Yeah.
So that way. It's a lot, and it is a very challenge. It's a big challenge as far as growing cashew is concerned.
Yeah.
Because cashew, unlike other trees, is very, very weather related.
Yeah.
The crop is very, very dependent on weather. Like, however much I can't tell you next year this tree will be laden with fruit. It might go to zero. It's like that. Just because I yielded this year doesn't mean it will yield next year.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, these weather conditions are not getting better every year by year.
Yeah.
Like this year, we've had a miserable crop. Everyone has.
Yeah.
And the proof is that cashew prices have gone up this year.
Yeah.
So that itself proves that's a worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah.
So this changing this of weather because of global warming and things like that, excessive rainfall that we are having, is taking a huge toll on cashew production. The same way as it's taking a production on all fruit-bearing trees.
Yeah. Distilling, as we saw the distillation process, you've been distilling excellent two products. Now, why did you not think of branding it and going into the commercial market?
See, Rahul, that is a market which is already, there are many players and they're established players. Okay, we have been, as I told you initially, we have farming in our DNA. I wouldn't want to get into the bottling part. Besides that, I'm sorry to say, it's a very dirty game. There's a lot of red tapeism, a lot of bribing to do and all that, big time. So I don't want to get into something. At the age of 61, I'm happy and contented the way I am. If I can just, pass on this land to my next generation, it's a job well done for me. I don't think I would want to get into that game. Of course, tomorrow my elder daughter, she's very interested in all this. Tomorrow, if she wants to do anything related to whether it's tourism or bottling or something, I would definitely solidly be behind her. But I don't want to initiate anything as of now.
Wonderful. So finally, Bebe, what is it about Urraca and cashew Feni that makes them both so special? What's your take on that?
See, first, let me tell you one thing. I would tell you what makes I'm proud about it. I may sound a little boastful, but the thing that makes my Urraca different from others is, number one, our 100% of our cashew trees are grafts. So the apple from cashew grafts is always sweeter. Even the Nero is sweeter. It's less sappy. Number two is we are not plucking apples. We have fallen fruit, and we are using only those fruit for Urraca and Feni. Okay, so that is the main USP. Now, as far as Urraca and this is concerned, see, it is a very acquired taste. But there are more and more people getting to like this thing because, see, there's a saying also, vocal for local. Vocal for local. I think that's what we should be. We should eat and drink seasonal things which are grown locally. There are vegetables that are grown locally. We should consume those. Urraca is a local drink, which is a seasonal drink. My father drinks throughout the year. Urraca. But I feel it has no charm once the rains come.
Yeah.
Then people switch to Feni.
Yeah.
So this is the time it's hot, sultry. You feel like chilling out with Urraca. You know, it adds the heat. And you get even your sweat sometimes smells of Urraca.
I know.
Literally.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is basically a local drink. It's a local. I mean, it's the ethos. It's a part of our culture. It's a part of Goa. Like when you're talking about Feni.
Yeah.
Okay, you're talking about Feni. You immediately relate Feni to Goa.
Yeah.
Cashew is grown in much more places. Grown in Kerala, grown in Vietnam, grown in Brazil, grown in Africa.
Yeah.
But Feni doesn't relate with them, or cashew doesn't relate to them.
That's right.
Whereas when you say cashew, the name Goa pops up.
Yeah. And now cashew Feni has a GI status also.
Yes.
Thank you, baby. Huh? God bless
Rahul,
you.
Pleasure meeting you. Thank you very much. Thanks.
You were telling me this story about how Bebe started the cashew plantation.
Yeah.
Coconut and arecanut.
But the coconut was on the lower side of the property, where there was possibility of irrigating. Because coconut without irrigation is almost impossible. So when I decided to sell the part which could not be irrigated because of the difficulties of terrain and all those things, he told me, don't sell. I am going to try cashew plantation. And that's how it started.
Wonderful.
And gradually it went on increasing. Now fortunately it has become the main
Main cash crop.
cash crop. You know?
Interesting.
The Feni which is still, not Feni, Urraca.
Yeah.
Feni will be later on.
Yeah.
The Urraca which is being distilled there is very much appreciated. You know?
Yeah, I'm a consumer, so I know. And I believe, Uncle, you like Urraca also, no? So you only drink Urraca through the year.
Yeah, little bit. That also, normally on Sundays.
Only Sundays.
Only Sunday, not the other day.
Nice.
But I don't drink Urraca raw.
Yeah.
I always mix with lemon, some lemon, and a lot of ice.
Wonderful. Thank you.